Why? Why you feel horrible? Man, I don't even like this.
All it takes is again working on themselves internally, right?
You just lost me.
Hey, Tim, I was like, this cat done went on some philosophy shit.
It doesn't take money to now self-care yourself. Hijacked what we call self-care.
Please let him cook.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to another great episode of Two Pass Podcast, where you already know you got your main man, the postman, my main man, LD, my other main man, D. Riles, and today we will be bringing y'all another great episode. But before we get there, if you haven't subscribed to Two Pass Podcast over on YouTube, please hurry, get over there, hit that subscribe button, drop us a comment, share it, whatever you need to do, get it done. But today's episode will be based around self-care, right? And what we gonna do for our audience is we gonna give y'all 3 steps. We gonna tell y'all about the hook. We gonna give y'all about the hard self-care conversation that no one wants to have. And then we gonna give y'all the menu, the $0 menu to self-care. And I'm gonna let Larry go ahead and take off, and then we just gonna play table tennis with this thing. Go ahead, LD.
What's happening, fellas? How y'all feeling today?
I'm feeling good.
Hey, we shooting jumpers all day, baby. Now, I think I'm talking about, look, man, my self-care routine today didn't cost me nothing. I just went to the court and I just shot jumpers and
You yammed it?
come on back in the screen now. I need you right here. I need you right here.
Where you need that?
I need you right here.
Okay, then hold on for a second.
Right here.
What's be right here? Something
Okay.
something that you're familiar with.
That's
you
your...
can't- but you can't catch.
Now that's the epitome of I ain't gonna lose a battle at all. Hold up, let me go get my ball real quick. Let him know real quick.
Yeah.
Hey, so man, this is a good topic, I think, for everybody, and it's gonna be universal and it's general, right? So we can reach a broad group of viewers when it comes to self-care. So the commercial industry of wellness, quote unquote, have hijacked what we call self-care.
Mm-hmm.
What we've allowed to happen is for them to get in the middle of what we call self-care and now ourselves. Get in the middle of now causing us to think that we have to go out to take care of self. In actuality, it's the other way around. It doesn't take money to now self-care yourselves. Self-care is, and I guess I can give you a definition, but self-care is tending to yourself. That's the simplest definition I can give you. It's tending to yourself, meaning your person, your business, tending to yourself. But how do I tend to myself is the question. And that's where you have commercial self-care, and then you have authentic self-care, where you actually go in and you break some things down, but you do the work. A lot of the times we tend to go out and we might take ourselves out to eat. We might go to the gym. We might do something outward to now fulfill a void or to fulfill a disconnect within.
Okay.
It should be the other way around. It should that now we use the within to now fill the void that's without. The void should never be within. The void should always be without. So I'm using everything that I have within me to now fill that void without. So now the question is, do I feel like doing the work? So instead of going out to eat and taking myself on a date, what about sitting in solitude and sitting with myself and trying to understand where the disconnect is happening? What is the self-talk like right now in my life? What circumstances and situations have I allowed to now infiltrate my mainframe to cause me to be disrupted in the way I move and the way I think and the way I live? So self-care, I think you have to go deeper than just taking yourself out and doing the tangible things. It's the intangible work that you do that now is going to create the reconnect. What do you guys think?
Well, I think what you're saying, you just lost me.
Hey, Tim, I was like, this cat done went on some philosophy shit. That's like he was.
No,
I was
real
like,
shit, real shit, right?
Hey,
And
I mess
also-
with him. I mess with him. Let me mess with him real quick.
And
Hey,
also,
he out there. Hey, what I told you, he out there, man. He had the wrong thing in his hand. He
Hey,
out there,
man.
dog.
Hey man, hey dog, it was the grits this morning, man.
I know. Do
but
that. Do
also,
that.
I'm gonna say this:
You got to put cheese in the flour. You got to put
we
cheese
got
in
to
the
find a way. We have to find a
Hey,
way, right? Because what you said, a lot of people, not just me, but a lot of people that's listening, they gonna be like, "Damn, where you at with this? Where you going out here?" So if we gonna dumb it down,
let me.
because that's the word that people like to use. Sometimes you have to dumb it down, and then once you dumb it down, you build the people back up with you. So I'm gonna dumb it down for
Okay,
them. Is that instead of buying all these things to make you look or feel good on the outside, but on the inside you're damaged, you're hurt, you're broken, right? Let's start with spending time with self and working on the internal, right? Because once you complete that and get that to where you want it to be, then you don't have to appear in a certain way to fit in, right? With the world. Because that's what people do. Um Here a couple of years ago you had a lot of women, and I'm not taking a shot at women or no one in specific, but I'm gonna use this for an example. You had a lot of women leaving the country, going to other countries, getting their bodies done, right? And wasn't making it back home because of the appearance that they want. They want it to be appealing to the world, right? But so you had people that was dying to be fine. You don't even get to show off the body or anything because you go from the operating table to a fucking casket because on the inside, you don't went up under this knife so many different times. On the inside, you still, when you look at yourself, you still not okay with who you are. You still don't like the person that you see in the mirror. You still have a problem with this individual because of this don't look right or that don't look right. Or you see your neighbor and your neighbor got you don't know the work that your neighbor putting in behind the scenes, but when you see her, she put together, that's a bad bitch. That motherfucker knows she fine. And you might don't believe it, but I've heard it. You actually have women that look at other women like that and say, God damn, what's she doing? Or where she went at? Or whatever the case may be. So I just want to take that moment to dumb it down because you said about the commercialized versus the authentic. And that's when it gets commercialized, that's what it is. Whenever it's gonna cost you money to appeal or appear a certain type of way. That's not self care at all because you may be doing it for yourself. These are things that you're doing for yourself, but it's what's going on within is where the care has to start.
Right.
Go ahead, Bob.
And also, when it comes to that, it took away the organic part of it. And when I say that, I mean like coming up, right? When you got sick, the first thing you did is try to find that remedy, or you ask your mama or your grandmother, and they had either that Father John or that rubbing alcohols put on you and all this stuff. They had all these different, and they had, of course, more remedies, right? And they'll go out in the backyard and get some whatever, uh, and fix you, right? We were running to the hospital or the store to buy something, right? So, but now people getting depressed and psychological stuff, and they're running, or let's say, like you're using a good example of, some people going out and getting the surgeries, or some people going out and getting these quick fixes on things and all this stuff, other stuff. When all it takes is working on their stuff internally, right, and seeing what their body's telling them and understanding, because they're living in this body. It's very important. They understand that they're living in this body and they got to know how to take care of it. And so looking in the mirror, in a sense, you're looking internally to start educating yourself on yourself. It's very important. Before you start understanding everybody else and all these different remedies, understand yourself and how your body works. And when you understand how your body works, right, you know how to lose 5 pounds or 10 pounds or whatever healthy because you know your body. You can hear something new comes out, and if you try it, understand that you're just trying it. Don't make that a way of life because that's not how your body works. We give ourselves water. Water works, right? It's been working from the beginning of time. Sodas ain't been working from the beginning of time, and we all know that what it does to you internally. But we still drink it, right? And then if you drink a lot of the material, the things that are not healthy for you, right? And we know this is going to have an effect inside you. You're not going to see the outside of you, but the inside is affecting you, and you have to know that. That's why, to me, like I remember talking to you, Cam, about the disciplines that I have. Like not being addicted. So after 30 days, I was like, if I've been doing something for 30 days, I'm like, hey, I got to make sure I ain't addicted to this. And I just I cut it off for 30 days. You know what I'm saying? Make sure I can do without. Because you don't want those patterns of things that they're going to become addictive in your thinking and in your way of life. So you don't want that to happen. So you want moving around. We know we can move around. We want to lift weights. We can lift our body. We can pull up on a tree. We can do all different things. We're just the cosmetic part of it. Oh, I don't want. When somebody tells you, right, well, I don't know how to work out. Well, do you know how your body works? Well, I don't want to know how my body works. Hey, now we got an issue there. You have the issue, not me. And I would tell that person, first work on yourself, man. I mean, work on yourself, go get your blood work done, see where you're at and everything and all that other stuff, whatever. So you have a baseline, right? And then whatever it is, you look it up and you understand what the remedy is that you need to do to keep a health. If you feel like you're healthy, to sustain that healthy life that you're living. If your skin is doing bad, it's 9 times 10 is probably something that you're eating or you're around. You know what I'm saying? So you need to figure that out. If you want to
And
think
even to add to what you're saying, Ball, you just said something that a lot of people I think should do. I'm gonna let you get back to it, but while we're there, I want to highlight that because a lot of people don't do it, right? They don't want to do the work, like what Larry said in the beginning. You just said a person say something about working out, and when you say, well, they say I don't know how to work out, and then in turn you get them, well, maybe you should try. Well, I don't want to do that. I don't care how this works. Like this is my so. I think self care starts in the mental, right? With your way of thinking, how you think and feel about you, and how things work on the inside of you, because only you gonna know how that feels. And a lot of people come up with different conditions and diseases and ailments and all these things because of their lack of self care. Water, things that you eat, the things that you indulge in, your environments, the things that you consume, the things that you breathe in, all these things play a role. But the biggest role is what are you gonna do for yourself? How do you and you'll hear people say this all the time, man, I love me. Well, that's great that you can say that. It's great that you can say that. But what you're showing me is you don't really give a fuck about you. But go ahead, Bob. My bad.
hey, or that's the type of love that they desire for themselves. Because if you love yourself, right, why would you sit there and cut yourself? But you're telling me you love pain because everybody's different. Okay, I feel you, right? You don't expect me to do the same because I'm in check with mine. I know that hurts, and I don't get no enjoyment out of that. You know what I'm saying? So I choose to do something else. But you just got use the resource that you got to understand what all these different entities is because you got to see what works for you. And sometimes it's not you shouldn't have to pay for the things that works like for instance, nobody I mean this I'm using this for example, let's say the Roman days, right? There was no sodas, there was no hot pockets, there was none of that stuff, right? So it's proven that you can survive without it. It's proven. So but why did we reach these new age things, right? And consider that's the new thing that everybody should do it. The new thing is almost like, no, it got to be something different. It's not. It can't be authentic because we already know the stuff that's original here on this earth in its purest form works. Stop adding to it and start cutting it up. It works or it don't work. You know what I'm saying? So it's like you get like now I got a special cream to smell good. Okay, we've got conditioned right for a certain type of smell, right? To smell good. Does it really matter the smell of it? Sometimes the smell can tell you, hey, that's not good for you. But a good smell is it really good for you? You know what I'm saying? Every
Well,
smell has its place, but it's not necessarily saying that it's good for you. It's just a smell.
you have needs and wants, right?
Right.
You have needs and wants, and in this generation, it's a lot of wants before the needs. There has to be some boundaries that's set. And you have to treat yourself like you are the parent of self. You have to stand up within self and become the adult. Because like you said earlier, when now a person looks in the mirror, right? It should be about what they feel versus what they see, but now it's about what they see versus what they feel. One of my main mottos is it's not to go to the gym to throw up all the weight in the world. The goal is to mind my mental, mind the movement of my body, mind my fluidity, mind my agilities, to also measure where I'm at in my life with my total well-being. How does this line up? How does this add up? What audits did I do today? And that's my gym session, my audits. That's an audit for me because it's now allowed me to see where I'm at with my progression as I continue in my life. That's a measuring stick. What happens is this. Some people use those things as coping mechanisms. Now that becomes them. So you might hear a person say, if I don't go to the mall and get my mall therapy in, then I ain't no good for the day. If I don't go to the gym today, I'm no good today. No. These things should be added rooms or additions to your life to help you live a better life, right? Through and through. So we're getting confused with infusing the things into our lives versus keeping them a part of our lives. And that's when you get into cultivation of being authentic, because being authentic is unglamorous. It's not flashy. You really have to roll up your sleeves and face yourself, and you have to do the work. And a lot of people also miss out on great relationships because they looking with their eyes versus listening to the voice within or their gut. But they can't hear the voice within, and they can't even understand what the gut is telling them. The intuition is fogged, the discernment is gone because you've allowed all the stuff from the outside, which is consumption, to now bombard your systems. Now that your systems are bombarded, they have to work harder and harder and harder to do what was intended to do in the first place, which was to help you live, but not only live, but to thrive in all different type of changing environments. So I think we're losing the edge when it comes to being authentic in our true selves and understanding who we truly are, and then moving forward from that point. We're stopping, looking around, and then seeing, and then adopting what we see, and then we say, I want to be like that. There go that word again, won't. Versus, I like their style, but I gotta be me. Everything ain't for me. Yeah.
So, let's talk about what no one really wants to talk about. Let's have this discussion. And we're gonna start with the fasting of the mind, right? The fasting of the mind is discussing mental consumption. True self-care isn't just a physical break, but it's stepping back from the constant noise, opinions, and digital inputs to put your mind at ease and put your mind at rest. And I picked this out because this is a conversation that I've had with both of you guys on numerous occasions about shutting out the noise and the commotion and the opinions and the problems and all the things that come from outside. And then when you hear it, now you done invited that with to the inside. Now here you are in a constant fight or a constant battle because you got some shit on your mind that wasn't on your mind. You don't allow outside to come now have an effect on it, what's going on within. And the importance of taking those breaks for yourself. The importance of disconnecting from everything, whether it's 5 to 10 minutes, but just have that disconnect and that moment of meditating. And that's the fasting of the mind. At least clear your thoughts, clear your mind of everything. You know what I'm saying? Because now you don't, and I don't think we realize it though. Sometimes we don't even have room to think because we done cluttered our mind with so much bullshit. And the things that we supposed to have our mind on, we can't even focus because you got so much bullshit going on in your mind. You trying to do this here, but you got the TV on right here, you got your telephone right here. How can you focus? How can you prepare for whatever that's really important to you? And then, and Larry just said that the difference between that want and that need. I need to lock in and get this done, but I want to hear all this other shit because I want to be nosy. I want to hear what's going on TikTok. You see them over here fighting art. I want to see what's going on Facebook. I need to know what's happening with the latest celebrity. I need to know what's going on over there. It's, you never take the time to woosah, breathe, release. Go ahead, coach.
Yeah, you gotta think about it. You gotta look at the outside things that just entertainment, things that you seen with your eyes that somebody else created. You know what I'm saying? And you should look at it like, for real, what? Yeah, man, that looks nice. Like, that's okay. It's not for you to indulge on everything. It's not for you to handle everything because what's going on in, let's say, Venezuela or Spain has no bearing on what's going on in front of you. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, why are you concerned yourself with trying to fix these problems? And if you slow yourself down and have time to yourself with no TV and no nothing and just sitting there and thinking about yourself, and you start eliminating all the other entities, it starts slowing yourself down. That's why that's why I have a calendar. I don't I said I used to make a joke. I said I don't even like being around humans. And it's a joke, but you got to be around them. But in a sense, to think about it, less people that you have contact with when it comes to your thoughts and your desires and what you want to do, the more you can hone in on yourself. You're not needing them for anything. You're tackling things like things that you're going to do for yourself and that you're going to do. And then you'll start turning your energy into that and focusing on one or two things. Because now, and you got to exercise that because now anything outside of that is going to feel like it's overwhelming. You're like, man, that ain't got nothing to do with me. Like I've been thinking about this all the time and these few things that right there doesn't even play a part in my life. Even the gossip, like, oh, such and such beat up such and such, like, okay, whatever they get through, they'll get through it because it don't require me to be over there because I done proven I sat my ass at home for a week and had no problems. You can't have a problem with yourself, but you have a problem when you're dealing with outside entities. So you got to let them, whatever they created and got themselves into, let them do that. Let them dig their way out of that. Because if you try to do it, now it's going to send a signal to your brain and they got a mental thing now. You got to fight with saying, man, what are you doing? That ain't got nothing to do with you. Why are you fighting the battle for somebody else? Let them fight their own battles because that's what they're here to do, fight their own battles. They were born by themselves. Now, if y'all got the same fight and y'all just happen to be around each other, that's probably a little different. Y'all fighting the battle together because both of y'all got the same fight in you. But if you don't just join in just because somebody want to join you in because you got to do self-care with yourself because now tomorrow you're not going to feel that passion about it. That other person going to feel it. You ain't, but you're going to feel the hurt and everything else, whatever came with you or the consequence. You know what I'm saying? So it's like once you start working on yourself, you start feeling good about yourself. You don't have that person saying that you're ugly. You don't have that person saying you don't smell good. You don't have that person saying your body looks a certain way. Who cares? If you've been loving yourself since you've been a baby and you grow up and you're running around, who's to tell you that you don't love yourself? You're the one telling yourself that. You the one looking in the mirror and telling yourself you're ugly. You're doing that to yourself. And if you turn that up and if you start working on yourself, and when somebody says that, it bounce off like, I know what they talking about. They must be talking about somebody behind me or whatever, but like, I walk in greatness. You know what I'm saying? I look great. I feel great today. You know what I'm saying? I did the proper thing. So whatever they walking on, whatever cloud they on, that's them. You know? And you don't got to get pissed off about it. Just roll off and do your thing. And every say, oh, you acting so, oh, you think you this and think. Yes. I've been living this body and I've been talking with it and I've been did all that. Yeah, I feel great. I think, yeah, I should think I'm the shit. I feel like you should too. But don't get confused. You think I'm gonna turn off my life because what you think and what you say, it has no bearing.
Well, and that's the beauty about self-care, right? When you really think about self-care, you don't need money to take care of yourself, right? Self-care, right? All the things that's surrounding self-care is for you to slow down and to rethink. But now once you slow down and you rethink and you're in that place where you need to be, now what? Because that's where the issues lie. That's where the things that you still need to deal with lie. So just because you go out and you surround yourself with all this stuff, you might take a bubble bath, you might do whatever, but all these things that you call self-care are to just slow you down, help you relax, to now give you energy to deal with the real issue that lies within. So now once you get through this perceived self-care, now the real cultivation, which is the true self-care, starts. And now you start to dive in and now you become your surgeon, right? Because now you start to open up the issues and now look within those issues and to see why are these issues causing me to connect more with the world and disconnect from myself. Well, just like you said, just like I said earlier, it's all in the coping mechanisms, right? So we do all these outer things in the name of self-care, right? But are we really caring for self? Meaning listening to self. Only you know what's happening within you, and only you can go deeper and to discover the root cause. A lot of people from the outside can think and they can suggest and they can ask, but you know. But now you got to ask yourself, am I going to do the work? Am I going to do the things that I need to do and not disconnect from the things that I want to do? Because wants is winning right now because wants feel good. Oh, I want a juicy steak right now. Oh man, I want a peach cobbler right now. That sounds man, that would taste so good to my body. Make me feel good. That will make me feel good. Let me go to the bar and grab a drink, right? It's all these coping mechanisms, but you still got the problem right there that you ain't even touched. And I think you have to fall in love with doing the work within.
Well, not just that, man. You got to set boundaries, right? You got to be able to utilize the word no over a wide variety of different things and situations.
And to yourself.
And that's what I was going at. And no, you got to be able to tell yourself no more than anything else. Because, like you just said, wants are winning, are overlooked, pushed to the side, hell with it if I get it. But the things that I want, I work 2 and 3 times as hard than instead of the things that I need. And that's what we was talking about, that mental rest, giving yourself time to think. Because you got to go into a mental reset. And in your mental reset, you got to put this word N-O in big bold letters. Because a lot of things you don't need, you crave for. The things that you don't need, you strive harder to get. You got to be okay with being bored sometimes. And we know what being bored is like. Getting somewhere, doing nothing, sitting to ourselves. You don't always have to figure out what I'm gonna do next. Sometimes sit your ass down, right? Because we talk about self-care here. And then you can run yourself raggedy. You can run yourself into a ditch or a early grave with worrying about things and stressing about things and all these, because when you begin to care for yourself, you begin to not care for things outside of you as much. That ain't saying that you just gonna completely just cut off the world, because we human, right? We do have emotional attachments to people, places, and things. We do have that, and these are things that we have developed over time, right? So it'd be hard to let certain things go. But if you begin somewhere, you have to get started with doing the initial work. That's the importance of this. Let's get started with doing the work. Number one on doing on the to-do list is tell myself no. Things that I don't need, I don't go after. No, I don't want that. No, I don't need that. And now I start to refocus on what I do need, and I start to put my time and my energy in the things that I do need. Damn, I ain't been good. I ain't been getting good rest that night. I need to find out what's going on with me, because I need to be get some sleep. Damn, man, I ain't been like, my stomach been bothering me. I need to find out what it is that I'm eating, because this is bothering me. Yeah, McDonald's and Burger King and Wendy's, that shit look good and it's easy to get to, but this shit fucking with me. I need to find out what's going on with that. I need to go to the doctor. I need to do some blood work. These are things I need. I need to get a physical. I need to do a checkup. I need to do my checks and balances. And that's what self-care is about, checks and balances. You understand what I'm saying? Self-care ain't about me going down to the motherfucking, to CVS and getting Noxzema every time I get a bump on my face. No, I need to find out What is it that I'm eating that's causing me to break out? Why ain't I don't need to go get Coca-Cola when you go in the store. It's Coca-Cola here and it's water here, and you look over at the water and say, "Shit, I can get that at home. Let me grab this soda here." I had them in to come to the store to get something to drink then. Because guess what I do know? I need some water. I don't need to go, and that's why I say about that mental reset. Where we got to change the way we think about things. We got to change our approach at this shit, especially when it comes to us as individuals. You got to change your approach. You cannot continue to live for the world, and because they got all these marquees and these flashing points and all these things and these products for sale that, oh, I got to go get that. Yeah, because I just seen the reviews on it. Oh, that shit work. That shit fire. No, that shit worked for them because you know what they did? They done convinced themselves that that shit worked, that shit fire. So a person will play mind games on themselves in order not to do the work. And guess who? And guess what? The industry capitalizes off that because I know you lazy. You know why? Because I done trained you to be lazy. I done trained you to be lazy. I done trained you to go to work and bring me your motherfucking
They got an algorithm on you.
for real.
Yeah, they got an algorithm that they're going to continue. They said this person right here, these people right here, we're going to keep in contact with them because they always going to come to us regardless of what we say. There's a certain amount of people that's always going to, I can send an advertisement out and they're going to take the bait of their time. And they're playing on your mental. They're playing on your the stuff that you can really take care of yourself, and they're going to hijack your mind, your thinking, to thinking that you need that stuff and you don't.
And that's what's going on right here, ball, right here today, is that we got, and we done talked about this so much. Your self care is going to require you to be radical about internal accountability, right? Stop blaming the world and things outside of you for the shit you going through, right? Let's be accountable. Let's not blame all the chaos. And I can't blame the fact that I was late for work because Larry was arguing with Meatball on TikTok. You think my boss man gives a fuck about who Larry and Meatball is?
You know, you could have separated
But
yourself
that's
from them
that
jokers.
outside chaos. But that's what we'll do to ourselves. We start playing these kind of mind games, these Jedi mind tricks, like you say, about these Jedi mind tricks. You begin to do that when you don't want to work on self. You find a reason. Dog, and it's so crazy. And it's like now that I'm getting older, I experience a lot more things. I see a lot more things, and I sit and I do more of listening and watching, right, to see the outcome of things, right. And motherfuckers really psych themselves out, hype themselves up. Motherfucker go get some lip gloss out of the Ulta Beauty store, gloss their lips up. As soon as their lips go to breaking out, it ain't had nothing to do with the lip gloss. You ain't read what's on it or nothing. You just like the color of it.
Bro, have you been it? So I've been into I've been into an ultra, right?
I have to.
Mind blown, dog. I'm like, they got this much product.
And that's
Like
why I
this.
brought that up. That's why I brought that up. Because the magnitude of products that they have commercialized to put before you, right? They find a way, like Coach just said, they got an algorithm to get your money. And true self-care don't cost a thing. And that's what our whole topic is about. Getting away from I got to buy this or buy that to feel or look a certain way. Because that's not self-care.
Hey,
That's not self-care.
he,
Go ahead, Coach.
I mean, I know this is a joke, but like it's kind of reality as well. It looked absolutely crazy if I seen 33 Studios right there with some glued on eyelashes. I was like, what does that do for you? You know what I'm saying? Like, what does that really do? People say it makes me look better. Like, nothing wrong with you. Like, and then you start breaking out and this that, and you still put them on there. Talk to me, man.
Well, it goes back to this, what we said earlier. When an individual look in the mirror at themselves and they're not aware of who that is that's in the mirror, they don't even know that person they're looking at, but they can look at social media or look at someone else and see themselves in that person because of the appearance, then they begin to have a tug of war with self, right? You'll have people, and it's okay to fast or whatever you need to do, go on diets. These things are okay because if you're doing it for the right reasons, It's healthy for you. You're working on your health, right?
Mhm.
It's healthy for you, right? But I ain't finna tell you because the lady in the last movie that just came out and they got a Grammy and an Oscar still with 82.8 pounds fucking wet. That's the new look. I ain't gonna tell you that. I'm not gonna convince you of these things. I ain't gonna tell you that the man that looked like Schwarzenegger in '88 is the new thing. Cause maybe you ain't going in the gym to get big and be shooting up all this shit and taking all these different things because a lot of times that's not for you. So you got to get real with who you are. Before you can start your self-care journey, you got to understand who you are, right? It's the reason why it's called self care. You have to really care about who the fuck you are. But before you can care about who you are, you need to know who you are, right? You need to know your do's and your don'ts. You need to set up these parameters in your life. Just because Ball doing this and LD doing that, that don't mean I got to go do that because that's not what I do. That's not me. I'm not gonna knock at what they do. I'm not gonna knock the fact that LD going in the gym 2 o'clock in the morning. I'm in the bed. LD in the gym. I ain't gonna knock the fact that Ball gonna go out there and play golf. I don't golf. Guess what I understand though? For LD, that's how he work on his self care. He's working on his internal, his mainframe, and his mental. Same thing as for Ball. That's how he work on himself. He keep himself in shape mentally and physically, right? What I am gonna knock though, if I see LD doing something that's not gonna be productive in his life, and I can see it, and as a friend, if I consider myself a friend, I see him say, man, you know, I'm finna go over here and get my tummy tucked and get my six pack, get me, you know what I'm saying? Because you got men doing it. You got men going to do it. Women ain't the only people going up under this fucking knife. We ain't gonna act like this shit ain't happening. It's not being, it's polarized, but it's happening. You know what I'm saying? And so I'll be like, now why you gonna do that? Why you just gonna go work out or work out a little more? Or find different workouts to work on your core or whatever. You see what I'm saying? But you have people that'll beat themselves up because of how the other motherfuckers look, or how they dress, or what they drive, or how their house is. And so your comparison, you stop looking at the inside and you start looking at everything outside and you start making comparisons about your life to their life. And you don't know what the fuck them people going through. People coming up with all kind of ailments. They got all kind of internal shit going on, and they don't show you that part. They show you the part, the glitz and the glamour. Self care ain't glamorous. It's not fun. It's boring, but it's needed. It's necessary. Sit your ass down. Spend some quiet time. You don't have to go to the mall to get the latest to feel good about yourself. Go in the closet and get what you've been had and and put some water in that iron and get some starch and make that motherfucker like it stand up by itself. Because like Ball said at the beginning, shit that worked before us still works. Why are we getting away from what has been working? You know why? Because that shit that worked then, it ain't cost nothing. You know what? The people these platforms, these phone companies, all these big companies, they can't make nothing off of the aloe plant in your grandma's backyard. That when you get a cut, you go out there and you get that motherfucking aloe plant and you clean that cut and put that aloe on there and don't put nothing over it. Let it air out. Guess what they want you to do? They want you to go down to the store. You need to get A&D ointment. You need to get a wrap. You need to get Band-Aids. You need to get a gauze. They tell you every step you need to get, but your grandma tell you, go out there and cut me a piece of that aloe. Let Wipe that blood off. Let me see how deep it is. Reach up there and get me some of that cobweb. Get me some of that cobweb, and let me put that cobweb across there, and watch how that thing just draw right up.
I know. You see? Can you see this? Can you see the spot on my arm?
Not really.
Right. I'm glad you said that. Right here. And then over my eye. I got in an accident when I was younger, right? Old man Adel, I don't know if his last name is Delagar or whatever, right? He came over to my house every day, right? And rubbed that aloe on me every day. I was just laying on the couch, this mess hurt me, bro. Hit my forehead. I thought I was gonna look like how, you know what I'm saying, forever how I looked and felt. You hear me? You rubbed the aloe all over, on your scars, bro. And like I said, you can barely see it, but I hit that scar there. He healed me. I didn't go to the hospital to do that. And so like, and it made me like believe because at the time I'm like, man, what this old man is come put this stuff on me, man, cutting up. Then he got to the point that he'll leave it there and show me how to cut it up and be ready for him to come back. He used to turn color and green and the scalp was coming on. He'd tell me, hey, don't mess with that, it's healing up or whatever. And it came out right. And I was like, I got me a remedy book. I was like, man, shoot, I'm start figuring this thing out. You know what I mean? I was a young person. I always kept my home remedy book, man. I swear to you. And it goes to the testimony. But what you're saying is that the stuff that those things always works, always. But we want the commercial thing. We want them to do everything for us. We want it to be looking a certain way. It got to be. We got to. All right. You don't know what you're talking about. Okay, back on.
So, and like you're saying, that aloe plant heals you, and the body was designed to heal itself. The body has been designed to care for itself. But if you poison in the body with all the bullshit that they selling you, well, how can you expect for your body to fight? The body's gonna produce antibiotics for things that happen if you're taking care of the body, and that's part of that self care. If you're eating right, if you're drinking the right fluids, if you're staying hydrated, if you're exercising, if you're creating movement, if you create movement in your body, your joints don't stiffen up on. So now when you get up to move, it don't hurt as much because you already got movement. It's used to that. If you drinking water, if you drinking water, you're staying hydrated. If you eating fruits and everything, when you get sick, when everybody else around you get sick, you ain't getting sick like they are. You might run into something, but you overcoming it like this because the body naturally is a healer. So self-care, you can naturally, and it don't cost nothing. So your self-care naturally is within you. All you got to do is take the time out and stop ripping and running and looking at everything that's going on and want to be a part of something and take the time to be a part of self.
Man,
What's
don't
up,
become
man?
don't become a sucker to the game, because that's what they playing. They
Okay.
playing a game, and you around here lit up. You got your eyelashes, you got your makeup, you got your lipstick, you got your blush, and then you got to go buy shit to now get it off at night, and then you got to do it again. But not only are you doing that, right? But this is the thing that gets me, and I said that to say this. People spend so much time consuming and doing perceived self-care. And what they don't understand is that that's a part of your life. And that time you can't get back. So what you did, instead of really deciding to put in the work on yourself, you'll say, I'll spend 30 minutes in the morning, or for guys doing something else, versus taking that 30 minutes and now spending that 30 minutes on true, authentic self-care versus commercialized self-care. I always tell people, your life is your life, and I applaud you in your life. That's your life. But my life is my life. And there's certain things that I have to understand for me. And I can't get bogged down about what you're doing, but I can say something. If you don't listen, then that's on you. But if you continue to allow these things to take control of you and to manipulate you and to be God in your life and to lead your life and to think and to making you think that you need these things versus want these things, I'll see you down the road and you'll be that same person that's struggling with the same thing that you didn't deal with earlier in life because you decided to mask it with the stuff that the commercialized business is selling. They always winning if you always consuming.
Mm,
And they ain't gonna
But they
consume you.
stop winning when you start cultivating.
mm.
Hey, if you drink this soda right here, and you say, man,
Got you. Got you.
drink that water, man.
Drink that water, man.
Well, like what Larry just said, stop consuming and start cultivating. And in order to cultivate, you got to plant the right seed. And you ain't never seen soda grow no vines. You ain't never seen soda grow a tree. So we know what it takes. We know what it takes. You ain't never seen soda get produced without them having water with it. because we know what it takes. So let's get to the foundation. Let's allow ourselves to understand it don't cost you nothing, $0 to take care of your fucking self, man. Only thing you got to do is start doing the work. Start spending time with self. Get to know who you are, right? Get to know the things that you need. Because I've seen up close and personal what diabetes looks like, right? I've seen what motherfucking high blood pressure look like. I've seen what high cholesterol look like. I've seen what these things look like. And you know what it comes? And it all comes from the way that you were eating, not just one time, but over time,
Your
your,
lifestyle.
your lifestyle, your consumption. So now we're back here with this consumer. The things that you consume are gonna naturally play a role on your lifestyle. And the thing, and you got to understand, whatever you take in is what's gonna come out of that. So go ahead, coach.
Hey, I ain't saying literally, right? And every parent is guilty of this, right? What I'm about to say, right? So I don't want people to take it nowhere different. It's child abuse, man. You keep giving your kid McDonald's every damn day. Knowing what it can do to you. I'm just saying. Knowing they can't choose for themselves. You putting it in them. Give them some fruits and vegetables. Give them the right stuff. Later on, let them make the choice because what you're doing at that point, you're building up those bad cells in their body. You're building up that bad desire to have those things. You're building it up. Let's say, for instance, in order to get obese, it don't happen in 30 days. You
Right.
done built up all those cells, those fatty cells, and they're working, and then all of them start working at the same time. And they get
Mm,
bigger and they start multiplying because you done built a big old storage of them, right?
mm,
Those kids can't choose that, bro.
Well, you said something very important though, and I don't think you even know you said it, but it's the you created a desire for them
Mm-hmm.
to eat that stuff.
Yeah.
mm.
You did as
Yeah,
a
you
parent.
did. You did it. And now that
So
you know, you can stop it.
yeah, because now you can't say I didn't know. You do know. You do know. So before we get out of here, man, I just want to talk about the what it's like to have that 10-minute brain dump, right? Where you write everything down instead of reoccurring on your mind these thoughts that are happening and allow that to clear out that clutter. So that's a part of journaling. That's a part of your self-care because we also talk about the mental health part as well. Declutter your mind. Get the bullshit off your mind, right? Things that's happening around you, don't allow those things to happen to you. And that's totally up to you. The do nothing protocol. Sit in silence 5, 10, 15 minutes. Get you somewhere. Even if you just got to cut the lights off. But just sit there and work on your breathing, right? Just work on breathing techniques. Disconnect from the world. Disconnect from phones, tablets, televisions, radios, whatever. Just totally disconnect and give yourself this 15-minute to 20-minute grace period where you say, you know what, I'm not going to do nothing but get control of my breathing. And now that's going to allow me to control my thoughts, right? But what's that's ultimately doing is putting your mind and your body into a reset. Because believe it or not, a lot of things you're doing a lot of releasing, and we do a lot with our breathing, our inhaling and exhaling. We intake and we release a lot of different things without us just not knowing. But that's how the body works. And then let these breathing techniques allow your to send notations or I can't what the word I'm looking for, cues or whatever to your nervous system, because sometimes our nervous system be out of whack when we looking at everything that's going on around us and want to be a part of things. You're nervous, and you'll notice it if you're that type of person. If when you can't get to the mall, or I need to get to the gym today, or I ain't gonna be right. Now you having panic and anxiety attacks. That's your nervous system. So you in an overload. So you need to get somewhere and allow yourself to just digress. Get this shit up off you. Reset mentally, reset physically, reset emotionally, and then start doing the work. You don't have to go out and buy every product that comes out to put it on to look a certain way. And that's gonna make you feel a certain way. Because once you take the product off, now you back to feeling like you was before you put it on. We have a problem. Houston, we have a problem.
Houston.
We have a problem. You see what I'm saying? So let's address the real issue and let's start doing the self work. Let's go within and let's anything that's broken, let's try to let's fix that. And then it's gonna show on the outside because you're gonna have a different glow to you. You're gonna walk with a different type of confidence. You're gonna have this I don't give a fuck about what you think about me type attitude. Not saying that I don't give a fuck about me, but I don't give a fuck what you think about me. Because you know what? I think I'm the shit.
Hmm.
I'm the biggest, the largest. You see what I'm saying? So that's the mindset you have to have. And a lot of these conversations that we have is always going to result back to this because we have to always start at the origin, your thought process. What do you think about you? Because if you think you this and you think you that, then that means you're gonna do the things that needs to be done to continue to think this because your thoughts are gonna become your feelings, and you need to feel like you this and you that. I can't think I'm this shit, and I'm putting a bunch of bullshit inside me. I don't feel like that. I just say that when everybody around, but really, man, I feel horrible. Why? Why you feel horrible? Man, I don't even like the shoes I got on today. Man, these shits ugly. Man, I can't put these shits. The Jordans just dropped. Oh, because everybody running to get the new Jordans, you got to go get in line because of you want to be appealing. So you doing the thing for an appearance. But on the inside, you fucked up. You got ulcers and all kind of shit from the shit that you eat. You
Hey,
fucked up.
wait,
Come on.
that little saying, and somebody say, I am him is I, and we are one. You can say the man was arrogant, man. He was confident in all of them in one.
That's right.
And he gonna walk in that purpose.
And that's what it's about. And that's what it's about. Walking in your
Right.
purpose.
And as you continue to do that, you now redefine all of what this is for yourself.
Right.
Just like when I was talking earlier and Cam said, man, shit, hey, you lost me, dog. Well, it take a minute, right? Sometimes the process takes a minute so that you can process, so that you now can internalize it, then redefine it to make it mean something to you.
That's right.
And then now, once it means something to you with that meaning, then you take steps into that meaning. And that means taking steps into your life that's going to now move you into whatever it is that you're supposed to be moved into from that place. And as you continue to redefine what things mean for you, your life now starts to be an internal, it's an internal wheel that's now starting to circle. And now you're gaining momentum. And we know how electric is created, right? It's momentum. And as that wheel gets to firing, now, like Cam said, now that's when that thought of I'm the biggest, I'm the baddest. But it's not because of the outward appearance. It's because of how you feel about you on the inside consistently over time, minus the stuff. Like Ball said the other day, you got to become damn near a minimalist.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then start with the things that you need, and then you might start to add some things that you want, but be careful about adding the things that you want so that they don't become now consumers of you or start to eat at you.
Yeah.
So we're not saying don't go out there and get things. Man, go out there and do what you got to do. Get your things or get your wants. But what we're saying is don't let your wants now control you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Don't put your wants over your needs. Your needs should now fuel your wants.
Mm-hmm.
And I think with all that, right, you're gonna be able once you begin to do that, everything that Larry just said, you begin to create the energy and you start exerting that energy in the right places. And what happens now is that you don't have to worry about the burnout.
I'll let y'all catch.
Yo, we out of here, man. Peace. Get excited.